streets and some things, and people can wander around in there. And then in here, we have a special attraction. We call it the Blue Bayou Lagoon. People are going to get on a boat here, ride through the lagoon, and then as they get around here, we're going to take them down a waterfall and take them back into the past, into the days of the pirates, you know, where the old Caribbean area was full of pirates, and they were always sacking towns and things. You believe in pirates, of course. You want to see some?
Love to.
Right over here.
Hello. Oh, I forgot to move the microphone back over. Welcome, any and everyone who is here joining us. Hello, Diana.
All 700 of you. Hello, welcome.
People coming in from all over the land.
That's right. We got some folks from
Oh my
Minnesota.
gosh. There was just a kitten that tried to jump up here. Did not make it.
Whoops.
They're okay. They just did not make
Delaware.
the jump.
Nevada and California. Hello.
So welcome to an unusual night for us to do a show. Friday night. We're usually
It's
Thursday night,
Friday.
folks. But, you know, we just got back from a cruise. You may have seen us if you follow me, at least, on social media. You don't post anything ever.
I did recently, I think.
Well, you promote this show. That's about it.
That and your birthday.
That's true, my birthday. Which was, I mean,
Momentous.
we were on the cruise for my birthday.
That's right.
We will talk briefly about the cruise. It's not a Disney cruise, but I think it's Disney related. We spoke previously about how whoever he is, CEO of Virgin Cruises, is a former Disney Cruise Line
That's right.
executive. So there is a little tie-in there. And this will be our last show of the year, our last live show. So we're kind of going to take a quick stroll down memory lane and talk
Yeah.
about perhaps what the future holds, which you don't even know about yet.
I sure don't.
We've
No, I
had-
mean, does anybody know about the future?
Well, Christian and I do.
Oh
We've
my.
had pitch meetings, we've had presentations from sponsors, and I'm just kidding. We have discussed things, but I kind of look like an elf. Like if my
Well,
ears were pointy, I think I would
you
pull
would.
off the elf thing.
Are an elf, essentially.
I'm wearing
Very
your
cute elf.
Hawkeye hat that
You
you
know.
received.
Because
Free.
if anything screams Christmas, it's Hawkeye.
You can't
Oh
even
my
see the hole of my
It
hat.
goes
in
straight up.
I kept the tag on. I didn't know if you wanted to save the tag. So.
Whatever. Honestly, I mean, it is, of course, to the Disney Plus series that's going on right now, Hawkeye, which actually, takes place during the holiday
True.
season. That's why I guess it's considered a holiday show.
Yes, yeah.
So-
I mean, yes, the first episode takes place during the holidays,
Yeah.
which is the only episode we've seen. So
We're a little bit
hopefully
behind.
during this break time that's about to come up for the show, we will have time to catch up on several Disney Plus series and
and
other
Rescuers
shows.
Down Under.
And the Rescuers Down Under, of course, yes. I feel like Minnie Pearl, which is dating myself, but I know
Because
my
you got
mother
the
will
little
get
price
that
tag on
reference,
there.
but that's probably the only person that will.
No, I get it.
Okay.
I used to watch Hee Haw.
Hee-Haw. I remember Hee-Haw coming on, but I never really watched it. Hey, John. Yes, we are here on a Friday. We are not at sea. We
Hello,
have
John.
returned from the
world
Big
of
Blue
the ocean.
World. Is that what that song is? In a Big Blue World?
Yeah.
It is.
Big Blue World.
This is
I'm going to go explore.
falling down on my head. We are going to do a quick recap, as I said, of the cruise. So let's just get right to it.
Right to it.
What did you think of the cruise?
It-
Of course, if you were just joining us, sorry, I just cut you off already. If you're watching on the replay and this is your first episode watching us, we just went on a Virgin Voyages cruise, the Scarlet Lady, which is the first and only ship that Virgin has out right
It
now.
is a brand new cruise line.
It is. And they're kind of changing the way cruising
Yeah.
is experienced. And I will get into a little bit of that after you give your report.
Yeah,
You're on a
I mean, I
five-night
will
cruise.
give my history. I have done in my past one long time ago Carnival cruise, 2 Princess cruises, 13 Disney cruises aboard all 4 of the ships that exist, but not the Disney Wish because that's new, and now a Virgin Voyages cruise, which was definitely different. But it was great. It was fun.
I really super loved it.
Oh yeah, I mean
And
there were things about it that were just amazing. But as I said though, it really is just totally different from what we have come to expect from Disney, which is our cruise line that we've done certainly the most.
well, I haven't done it 13 times like you have. I believe that the upcoming Wish sailing will be my 9th. So
Wow.
apologies for the cat meowing. There's some
Exploring.
gang wars that happen upstairs here with all of our cats. So we're recreating West Side Story basically with the cats around here.
Who's the Jets?
That's a good question. I need to
Who's
watch
the
the new
Sharks?
West Side Story.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was worried about on this Virgin Voyages is that it was, it was pretty much marketed to a younger crowd than
Sure.
us. Certainly,
Not too young though, because this is a cruise line now known for it. You have to be 18,
right,
in
18
order
and up.
to sail.
So perhaps a little more, hedonistic,
Right.
like you're out and wanting to, experience like a clubbing lifestyle,
Yeah.
and party all night long,
All the stuff
kind of
that
thing.
Richard Branson stands for.
right? Just like
As it is
really
his cruise
soaking up life and living it to the fullest.
Right.
Which I like to think that I do that sometimes. Certainly I'm not a clubbing person, but I do like to experience and enjoy things in life. This is ridiculous, our cat.
And if I think I'm probably I club the most of all of us here, right? Would
Yeah.
you say?
Thank you, John. Yes, hit the subscribe button, then you will always know when we are going live for times like this. I was going to put out a notice yesterday that we were switching the time, and it just totally got away from me, and I forgot to do that.
These times, December, I tell you.
Everything's in fast forward. So anyway, I was a little worried about that, but the minute we got on the ship, those fears were assuaged. Is that a word?
Sure. Let's make it a word.
Because there was like there was a lot of like 20 to 30-year-olds
Sure.
there, but there was a lot of old people too.
Yes.
Now this could be because what I was on there for was actually a free cruise from working for a travel agency. If you were a
Price
travel
was
agent that did their Virgin Voyages training program before a certain time period last year, you were given basically a free cruise, 4 or 5 night, any of the inaugural year cruises you could redeem for a free cruise, and I did that.
And we redeemed it.
Yes. So there was a lot of travel agents, I think, on the sailing, but then other folks that are probably
Sure.
more of the demographic that they're looking for. I
Yeah.
think once they get all of these free travel agent cruises out, it may change the,
It very well could. I mean, we definitely saw some of that, the
Yeah.
hedonistic stuff. But as you said, we also saw stuff that skewed the other way as well.
right. And the strange thing for me was, if you followed me on Instagram on Xanaland, you would see that I posted a photo that was taken at around 11 o'clock at night, and there was
Oh, right.
0 people in the pool area.
I totally did not understand that.
Yeah.
There must have been some other things going on, like
I don't know, maybe.
like maybe one of those shows that they were doing down in
Maybe.
the Red Room.
Could be. But it was just funny that like nothing was open. Like I guess the galley probably was open for food,
Yeah.
but none of the other establishments were open, because things will close and then reopen at like 10:30. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a weird, way things happen there. So no one was out there. Absolutely no one was in the pool area, in the hot tub. So we were really enjoying it. The bars were all closed. That's what I thought was strange, because I just thought it was going to be like, alcohol flowing all the time. But that wasn't really the case at all. And they actually do have like disclaimers on the app, which you have to use the app pretty much the entire voyage as well. But there's always little disclaimers like, we're not encouraging you to overdo in the alcohol department, just please drink responsibly and blah, blah, blah. So I think they knew that they couldn't really promote too much hedonism style antics.
That's right.
But yeah, that was the other thing when you were talking about shows and the app. You kind of have to schedule everything ahead of time. And we just because, it was new to us, I wasn't going into it with planning too much.
Right.
I had booked our dining
I
reservations.
was going to say, we scheduled a dinner for each of the 5 nights as well as one show.
Yes.
If I'm not
And
mistaken.
the show I didn't do until like the second day we were on board, because I
really?
didn't even realize that you had to do that.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm glad you did that. 'Cause it was a great show.
Yeah, but there was other shows that we didn't do because they were completely booked up. And there was
That's right.
a lot of things like they would do yoga all the time and all these different classes and things like that. They did like a stargazing thing. And we just, for one reason or another, didn't get to do those. They were booked, or things were conflicting with when we were eating dinner pretty late a lot of times. We started out, I had booked things at like 6 o'clock, because we're used to like having the kids with us and being like main dining people. But here you can choose a time basically from when they open at 5 until they close at 10. But because there was so much other things going on, and we would be eating lunch late or just like exploring the ship and snacking and stuff like that, we realized that we kind of didn't want to eat dinner until later on.
Right.
So we moved a lot of things to around like 8 o'clock time anyway.
But I will say this, though. Just overall, though, I felt like I was laid back a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have a lot, every minute planned,
Right.
and was rushing from here to there
Yes.
all the time. It was very relaxing in that way.
The when I said in the beginning that they kind of changed the way people cruise, this was very true. When you go on a Disney cruise, which, granted is geared toward families, everything is very structured down to the minute as far as activities. There's like, towel folding classes, there's shopping presentations,
Right.
there's bingo.
There's all that. I mean, I would say on a Disney cruise, everything is pretty much modeled around, the show time as well as dinner.
Yes, yeah.
And,
you have your dinner
And
time
with the
that
rotational
corresponds with
dining.
your,
Yeah. And then, of course, everything is packed in
yeah.
beyond that as well. So.
But here, it's not that there wasn't activities. There was plenty to do, but there's plenty not to do too. And you can just enjoy the ship. There was so many places to just chill and relax. Music was happening all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge lover of music, which sounds like very weird and cliche to say, because like, oh, I love music.
And it wasn't just the electronic, thump, thump, thumping music all the time.
But I do like that too. Like,
sure,
I
there
love
was plenty of that. But
I love lots of bass and things like that. So it was really fun for me to just constantly have a soundtrack going on.
right. And what
around
was
you.
that one? The 7-piece, kind of like an Irish.
Oh, Phantom Folktales.
Yeah, Phantom Folk.
So this was the other thing that there was a group called the Phantom Folktales. Now, most of the music is very like, chill electronic music like that. There's a couple of live bands. There's one that does more like jazz and old rock kind of stuff.
Right.
There's one that was doing like funk hits out by the pool. There's kind of like a chanteuse singer that does singing in one of the venues and then around as well. And then the Phantom Folktales were kind of like a unique thing in that they were not just musicians, they were also actors, and they could pop up throughout the ship anywhere and just break into a song and also tell you a story.
Yeah, because like the first time we encountered them, it was all 7 of them together, just performing their gigs. And then later, we just saw one of them strolling into the coffee bar that we just happened to be sitting in.
Yeah.
Sat himself down in one of the window seats, and just kind of like popped into a tune.
Yeah.
And then told a story.
Sang
and then
a song on a guitar, and then told a whole story about lightning and stuff like that. And
waves.
What the heck? That was another key.
Lightning and waves as well.
Yeah. And it was just like so random. And the other thing that I really enjoyed, oh my gosh, this, we're going to have to start putting the cats like somewhere else when we do the show. Oh my goodness. The crew, so when you're on a Disney cruise or any other cruise, you see the crew that is there to serve you, basically, which sounds terrible, but that's their job. And you see them in the various restaurants or, casinos or whatever else. Hi, Rich. We're talking about Virgin Cruises. And yes, Diana, there was a casino. I didn't really take any photos of it. It's a small casino, but they did have tables and slot machines and stuff like that. They look a lot different now than when we were last on a ship with casinos. Anyway, but you would never see the crew members outside of that, like in their roles doing their job. You would not see them. They would go down to the crew quarters and that's it. On Virgin Cruises, you would see the crew dining in the galley, which was their kind of like open deck food court area that was open the most hours. And they would just be eating their meals right there alongside
and
you.
Also
at
in some of the
tables.
other sit-down restaurants as well.
Yeah, we saw performers eating breakfast with us at Razzle Dazzle. And I loved that aspect of it because it really was, it made it feel like it was a whole community. It wasn't like a separation of like, we're here to enjoy and you're here to serve us kind of thing. It was like, we're all here to have a good time.
That's right.
And experience this cruise and each other. And I just really, really loved that aspect. And I believe if we had done more of the shows that were in that other venue, the Manor, which if you saw my photos, the room with the mirrors and all the sparkly lights, that was the entrance to the Manor, which had some, R-rated shows going on in there that we could not get into. I did not get to book them. But they were a lot of like audience participation and interaction. And from what I heard from other guests on the cruise, they would then see the people that were in the show, like in various venues of the ship, and they would, just get to talk and be friendly. And it was just like a whole other type of vibe, It really was changing the way that people cruise. There was no photo opportunities where people were standing in line to get their photo taken with a backdrop. There wasn't any. They did do bingo one day. That was only once during the whole time of the cruise, and I thought we were going to do it, but I missed out on the selling of the cards. Just because we usually do that on a Disney Cruise Line, so we wanted to see what it was like here. So I don't know if it was a different kind of bingo or what, but yeah, it was just like a totally different experience. And I really enjoyed the private island as well. I feel like Castaway Cay. What?
I was just going to say, apparently it is a private beach on an existing island, the Bimini Island, which is actually a very small Caribbean island. Actually, I think it's the westernmost Caribbean island, maybe about 60, 70 miles just due east of Miami. But it's an established Caribbean island, but there's just a
Bimini.
Small Bimini. Yeah.
You were just saying it like you didn't know the name.
No, I think I had said the name. But yeah, they had I guess they purchased a private beach on that island, and they just kind of created their own little resort over there. It was fantastic.
Yes. And what I feel like, I know Disney has their own island, and it's a pretty big island, and there's a lot to do activity-wise on the island, but I feel like it's such an ordeal to get to Castaway Cay. So much so that like the last time we went there, we didn't even get off the ship until like almost the end of them serving lunch.
Right, yeah.
We were like the last people to eat lunch before they shut down. Just because like there's limited number of chairs, and you have to like search, and you've got all your stuff with you, and you have kids to maneuver through and families and all this stuff. But here you got off the ship, there was a tram that took you directly to the Virgin Beach area. You walk in, there's like an open air covered seating area, and then there is 2 huge pools, which you don't usually have on a private island, but it just gave you another option besides the beach, which was right there as well. There's tons of seating over this whole huge beach
never
area.
Any problem like getting any kind of seat, and it wasn't just like if you wanted a chase lounge, or if you wanted like a padded, like a bed chair.
Fun bed type seats. They have cabanas that you could purchase if you wanted to rent those.
And hammocks. Yeah,
hammocks. No one was even in the hammocks. We were like hammocking it up. And the food was also great. It wasn't just like burgers and fries, which I understand, if you have to cater to families, you've got to have things that more kids are going to eat. But it was more like West Indian kind of Caribbean food. And I super enjoyed it. So I would go back in a heartbeat on a Virgin cruise, I guess, is the bottom line to that.
I would say there is one thing about the Disney cruise that probably stands up and over that, and that is with the rotational dining, your servers, they follow you, they get to know your likes and dislikes and all of that. And
that
so
is true.
It helps to have that consistency throughout your dinners.
Yes. And that's usually helpful if you have kids, because then they're always like, they figure out what the kids like, and they make sure to bring that every time. But I know you're like a big kid, so they bring you a Mickey bar every night or whatever.
I did not have any problems finding good things to eat in all of the restaurants.
It was a little like there was tons of vegan options, which I know probably no one else watching is vegan, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. There were so many vegan options, and I never had to worry about that. Because I run a vegan blog, I had to kind of ask a few more questions because I wanted to report about it and do a video and blog posts. So I wanted to make sure I had accurate information. That was a little frustrating just because there was, some language barriers, and additionally some cultural barriers of like asking to speak with a chef was taken as like an offense. And like, I want to speak to your manager, which that wasn't it at all. It was just, that's what we're used to doing in restaurants.
And I think also because it's still a relatively new cruise line, that it's only been around since October.
Yeah.
So, there's still some fine tuning of the menus. Exactly. There were some inconsistencies with the online menu versus the paper menus that they had there.
Yeah, so. The app versus.
But I think through time they'll get.
But all of the food quality and the different types of food, like it wasn't just here's a pasta for you. It was like unique, complete creations that were like top notch. So
absolutely,
I super loved it. Yep. Anyway, yes, DCL does need balcony hammocks. That was such a simple but super fun thing. I mean, you could just sit out there and swing and watch the sea go by. It was really fun.
Amazing, yeah.
So all right. Well, that's gonna call it a night for us. Anyway, if anyone had any other questions on Virgin Voyages, let me know. Thank you, Rich, for saying we both looked good.
Thank you.
We actually did not use the casino. We were going to, but we just kind of like waltzed into this cruise without really any planning. So we didn't have tons of cash out to do that. They give you a bracelet, which I should have brought up to show everyone. And that's how you get into your room, and also how you pay for things. But if
we
you
didn't
paid
didn't have a room
for
card
that with the casino thing, they would have charged you an extra
Oh,
7%.
that's right.
And we were just like, well, we're probably just going to lose money anyway. So we did not bother with that. But
That's all right.
it was really, I had a great time.
I did too.
What happened while we were gone at Disney? Did we miss anything?
Probably.
You haven't
know.
been back to do any candlelights since then, have you?
I haven't. No.
Have you missed narrators?
I've missed a few. Lisa
Okay.
Ling and some others.
Are there ones going on right now that you're missing?
Stephen Curtis Chapman, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe he's Christmas. He's Christmas Day.
Oh.
I can't remember them all. It's hard to remember. Oh,
It is.
Blair Underwood.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one from LA Law, of course. My favorite.
Previously on LA Law. Let's see. So, yes, Boat Rights just reopened, which I went to last night. That was a crazy experience for me, which I won't get into now because, again, probably no one is vegan that's watching. I am going to do a blog post, and I will probably be going back to experience it again because I think there was just some
Got to give them another chance.
miscommunications and confusion.
Yeah, I mean, they've been
just
closed
reopened
for nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
So they're just now reopening. So I guess they still have some fine tuning to do.
Yes.
On their,
By the way, this is Virgin Voyages' little mascot, Inky. So
Inky
that's
the
why we have an
octopus.
octopus in our tree.
That's right.
Also, Artist Point just
right.
reopened yesterday
Indeed.
as well, and we
At
will be visiting
Wilderness
that
Lodge, yes.
on Sunday, which
Oh my.
before everything closed down, that had switched to character dining, and I was planning on protesting it for the rest of my life because that used to be one of our
Yeah, I mean,
anniversary spots.
because it had just a wonderful national parks of the Great American West theme.
And it was delicious fine dining,
Yeah.
and they actually had good vegan options as well. And then they announced that they were switching to this character dining situation
thing with Snow White and even the
some
Queen.
dwarfs. Oh yeah, I guess the queen is there too. I think there's
Queen.
at least one dwarf
Like,
involved.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course, if you watch the movie, there's pretty much only 3 of the 7 dwarfs have any really things to do. That's Dopey and Doc and Grumpy. The rest are just kind of pretty small roles. So it's
I suppose.
probably 1 or 2 of those 3.
Mhm. So anyway, like I said, I had planned to protest that for the rest of my life because I did not agree with the decision to make this a character dining spot. But then I took over this site called vegandisneyfood.com, and then I have to actually cover those kind of things. So we have to go back and cover the newly reopened. I believe the menu is the same as it was before they closed.
Really?
I just hadn't
before it
personally
closed.
been there.
But not before that change.
Right.
They changed the
Yeah.
menu for that.
But my previous, the predecessor of the Vegan Disney Food blog had not, I think, been there herself. So I need to do a video and a fun blog post and all that fun
so
stuff.
it'll be a fun addition.
So we have that coming up. Lots of strange Lightning Lane announcements today that things that were part of the individual Lightning Lane purchase are now rolled into the free Genie, not free, but the Genie Plus situation.
Oh yeah, so it's no longer 2 attractions per park. I haven't seen this.
No, like Space Mountain and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway,
Right.
and some other things. You can't go that way. You will type on the keyboard, ma'am. And I forget the others, but yeah,
But yeah, those were the 2 attractions you named were the 2 attractions designated from Magic Kingdom as being kind of the individually priced Lightning Lane situations.
So that is, probably due to holiday crowds and whatnot.
Oh, right.
But perhaps it will just remain that way after the holidays as well. Lots of, I think this is definitely a testing phase.
Yeah, I still don't personally get it.
It's new for everyone, and they really don't know how it's going to work until people use it, I guess.
And the fact that you can only use each attraction once per day.
Yeah, of the lightning lane things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very interesting.
It is indeed. So yeah, I don't really have too much else to talk about.
Just that the holidays are going full steam. All of the fun holiday activities are doing their thing. I do know that I think we had mentioned this before, that the Indiana Jones and the Epic Stunt Spectacular is reopening in just a couple of days.
Yes, that is
There's,
true.
some more entertainment is coming back. It's still not quite the full thing.
Oh, really?
Well, I just meant, there's still no streetmosphere.
Oh, all right. I thought you meant the show was not going to be its own thing.
Well, I think, especially with that show, that's a show that did bring in some volunteers, and that was a big part of that show. And I'm guessing they probably won't be doing that, so they're going to have to find.
You think?
Yeah, I do think.
I don't think that would affect anyone, because people will have to have masks on,
We'll
and
see.
then they can just stand them further apart. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yes, John, the Magic Kingdom was also on fire briefly, I guess. That happened like right when we were coming home. Scott was driving, and I was like, just to let you know, there's a fire at the Magic Kingdom.
Right. It was a tiny fire, but because they didn't want it to become a huge, deal, they got to be cautious and safe. It kind of became a big deal when they had to send some fire trucks onto Main Street.
Exactly.
To put it out.
So we will have, like I said, I think I said in the beginning, I don't know, this is going to be our last show of the year.
What?
Because next week will be the day before, as my mom used to say. And she probably still does say, actually. And, there's going to be a lot going on. It's holiday time. We have been, as I also mentioned, in so many board meetings behind closed doors, all sorts of, schematics, blueprints, patent pending, things going on.
I do not know. I have not been privy to any of this.
No, because you were at work, so we had meetings without you. And I haven't updated you. But anyway, stay tuned for 2022. Up the Waterfall is going to be back and better than ever.
I like that.
As far as the podcast and live shows go.
Oh,
but the live show will not be on Thursday any longer. We're going to switch it up. What? So we will let you know. We'll give you some notice so that you can modify your schedule.
I'm going to have to modify my schedule.
I don't think you will.
Wait, I will.
Well,
because
you're home anyway.
Otherwise, I'll be up here on Thursdays.
Just sitting here by yourself. Well, maybe you can do a Scott solo show every Thursday. I don't know. And after hours.
I like that. It could be a book corner.
Yeah, it could happen. You never know. We'll bring you into our pitch meetings. I don't think I'm going to do the Where in the World. I'm going to save that.
Okay.
Because this was such a last minute show. Okay. And I like to have, audience participation for those things.
Yeah, that helps.
Not that I don't appreciate you guys watching right now, but we will hold that off and we'll have that for you in the new year. Until then, we would love you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we're going to do these live things.
Because as I said, this was a very kind of a last minute change.
Yeah, we just didn't want to end the year without saying a farewell to you all and checking in. And turn on notifications so you know when we upload a new video, which may or may not be Up the Waterfall related. We could have some other holiday videos coming up. And
excited about that.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, I think, for this show. We're just going to wrap it up. If anyone had any questions or ask us anything they wanted to throw out really quick.
There's not many of you out there.
I know there will be a delay.
But if you have any end of the year questions that we can possibly tackle.
Thank you, John, for your kind words. And we do appreciate everyone that has been with us for this year. We've had some, canceled shows and moved things around, and we've appreciated you loyal folks that have been in the chat every week when we've been here.
Yeah, we honestly could not do that, any of this, without you. We thank you.
It's true. I mean, we could, but we would just be like probably staring at each other and trying to wrangle cats, perhaps. Oh, that made one of them get up and start to walk over
Of
here.
course. And that of course, reminds me of one of my favorite Super Bowl commercials, the wrangling of cats. It's a
Oh
thing.
my gosh.
Look it up. Yeah. Yeah, we got some
So much is
disasters going on
happening.
behind us. We'll have to fix all of that in post.
If you haven't, caught up on all of our 2 podcasts that we recorded this year, it's been a crazy year. I will say that this was a year of us trying to figure things out. As I mentioned, I took over that site, Vegan Disney Food, and trying to run that and keep that going on a daily basis and doing more videos for that, which is, I've been trying to get outside of my comfort zone to do that, as well as
And I
with
would say you've been
Zanna,
successful.
as well as working full time. You've been working full time. But we do love doing this, and we definitely want to keep doing it
Oh,
and
absolutely.
doing more of it.
And honestly, we have a pretty good kind of bunch of great podcasts, and I think they're evergreen. And you can certainly go back and watch all of them. We have quite a lot.
Yeah,
With
or listen to
a
them.
varied.
You don't even have to look at us. You can
Oh, that's right.
download them from Apple or Google or wherever you listen to
It has a
podcasts.
a good variety of topics. Goes from history to kind of ranking things to
Yeah,
all of that. So, and we look to do forward to do more of those in the future,
it's true.
which I don't even know about because, as you said,
Yeah, you don't. It's going to be crazy. You're not going to
Yeah.
recognize anything.
but I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But we, again, do thank you all for watching and tuning in and being a part of this. And we do look forward to 2022, which someone pointed out in a meme today that's like saying 2020 also. 2022.
I don't think
And
it'll
that's
be.
not a good thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be
2022.
it'll be the least worst year of the 3 years since
The previous
2020.
3 years.
Yeah.
Time will tell, but we'll be here and we'll talk about Disney in some way, in some form or another. And we do appreciate. Maybe there will be future visits from the Explorer.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
That was fun.
But yeah, stay tuned and be sure to follow me on social media at Xanaland on everywhere. Maybe you'll post more, but I'm not gonna, Tisney if you want to follow him.
I think I will.
But okay, maybe that'll be
2022
your
is
New Year's
gonna be a
resolution.
thing.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and we wish you all wonderful. Hanukkah's already over, so have a Merry Christmas. And anything else that you celebrate? Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year.
That's right. Bye now.